We've got Jim Robinson and we've got Pedro Sierra here. I am honored to welcome you guys to Cleveland and welcome you guys to Play Ball Park. First things first, you guys look great. I mean, I'm sitting there looking at ages. I mean, you guys both look like tremendous. How has this experience been to be in Cleveland for the All-Star festivities?
It has been great. Something wonderful to see the welcoming of the fans, not only for the All-Star, but for us, and people, the interest in knowing some background on the Negro League and from other than reading from us. And this is a great experience. I feel elated to be around here in Cleveland, and it's great.
Yeah, this is a really exciting because we've been to a number of All-Star games and a number of convention centers, and I'm really impressed with the layout here. I'm amazed at how they put it together, and it really tells me that they really put their mind to it, and they want to really do something good.
Well, and one of the first things that caught my eye when I came down the escalator the other day and was here was the Negro League exhibit, and the fact, and that's one of the things I love about baseball, honors its history, and not just Major League history, but the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, the Negro Leagues, the Latin America, and the influence in the game. They take care of you guys, and that's important.
That is important, very important.
It to me, I have a dual emotion just to see the layout of the Negro League exhibit, and also the one of the Hispanic. I say Hispanic is something very important to me that has shown the impact that Latinos made in baseball. Okay, and it is something to see, the acceptance of the public and the recognition that Major League Baseball give to those two groups.
Because it for us here in Cleveland, it's important because of Larry Doby. We sit and you walk around Progressive Field, we see the Larry Doby statue, and it's a reminder, the first American League African American player right here in Cleveland, it's Larry Doby. But I know, and I talked to Larry, he would say, but it was the guys before me that allowed me to get here.
Yeah.
And you guys were the ones, I always think about Buck O'Neill, and he is an ambassador. You guys as ambassadors that enabled Jackie Robinson and Larry Doby and everybody else to get here.
Right. One of the things that I always think about is that those guys before us, they really laid the groundwork. They made it possible for us to be here, and we will never forget that. And the fact that there's a Negro League Museum exhibit here, we will spend some time there in the next couple of days because we want people to know that we were part of it, and we appreciate the fact that they're going to come and see what they can learn about Negro League history, because it is so important.
The same thing. I'm right on the shoulders of the Larry Doby's and Mickey and all them guys. Buck Leonard, all those guys that were great, and also the Cuban guys because Cuba had a bunch of players, a ton of players that played in the Negro League. From Martin Diego, Manny Minoso, all guys who are with the shoulders who are right, and guys who I said, those are my heroes. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned Cuba. We were talking about it the other day because number one, I think Louis Tiant should be in the Hall of Fame. That's number one. Right. But number two is that people might not know that. Negro Leaguers have, you guys played your season, but in a lot of cases, season's over, you guys packed up and went down into Latin America and played down in Latin America in the wintertime, as not spring training, but kind of a winter ball, so to speak.
Being Cuban, that's what I got the chance to see Joe Black, Ray Dandridge, Mona Irvin, a group of guys that have played there. We had tons of guys that came through there, and they said those growing up, we start thinking more. I want to be like this guy.
Yeah.
You know, so this is guys who really Bob Boyd, Kurt Roberts. You know, those guys that went there between Cuba, the Dominican Republic, and they played there. You know, and it was so important. We try to imitate.
Yep.
Other than imitate the Cuban players, Silvio Garcia and all them guys, Pedro Formental, we try to imitate, Joe Black and all those guys, It was funny, but a lot of people don't know, but Willie Mays went there, but he couldn't play because he had a problem with his ankle. He went to
Oh,
play-
really?
Yeah, he went to Cuba to play with Armendariz Blues team, but he never got to play. Okay, so this is something that I see and I carry. Those guys, that was so meaningful in my life of baseball.
Right. Yeah, one of the things that's important is that the fact that those guys, after their regular season, then went to Cuba, it was a matter of survival. They didn't make enough money
Right.
to lay off during the winter. They had families, many of them. So it was a matter of trying to get enough money to support their families and to make things do with their families back home. And so they had to continue playing because that was a means of income.
I've got about a minute left with you guys. Favorite player that you guys played with?
That I played with. Okay. Well, one that always comes to mind is a guy named Walter Barnes. We were teammates, and before the season was over, he got drafted, I think, by the Houston team, and he ended up going to the major leagues. And then when they would come to New York City, he would always call me, and we would have dinner together, or we'd go to the local pub and have a beer so I could show him off. Yeah, this guy was my teammate,
Yeah. For me, it was a player that I played with. My hero and my friend and my mentor was Manny Minoso.
Yes.
But I played against him in Mexico.
Oh,
But
wow,
I
okay.
knew him from Cuba, and he meant so much to a lot of Cubans. And then in '72, I went to play in the Mexican League, and they were playing in Union Laguna, and it was like we played against each other. And then you start thinking in retrospect, I'm pitching against a guy who was my hero.
That's
It's
amazing.
very, very amazing. And then through the years after, we in Union City, New Jersey, they had a game, remember, in the past, and we were playing against each other too. But it was very impacting.
That's amazing. Welcome to Cleveland. I'm so
Thank you.
happy to have met both of you.
Thank you
Enjoy the
very
rest
much.
of the festivities.
Thank you.
will.
Jim Robinson and Pedro Sierra from the
Thank
Negro
you.
Leagues are here, and they are legit heroes.
Thank you, Cleveland.
And, yes,
Okay.
Thank you
Thank
for
you very
being
much.
here as we welcome them to Play Ball Park.